So hi Scorpio, and welcome to your love reading. This is particularly for single Scorpios. I do the couples separately. You get 5 cards that look at your emotional life this month, any attitudes, any work you can do, so your romantic life can flow the way you want it to. You've got 3 major arcana out of 6, so you get 6 cards. Everyone's seems to have got an extra card this month for some reason. So yes, sorry, just give me a minute to look. A lot of very, very feminine energy. Temperance, High Priestess, and Strength card. So where you're at emotionally, entering March is the beautiful Temperance card. Now, if you look clearly, this is someone going through the alchemic process, which is basically just a transformative process, okay? It's just a big word that people use for the process of change, okay? Now what is changing for you is all to do with the emotions, because as you can see, she's half underwater, and you know, she's half water and half ruled by fire. So she's bringing together different elements and she's being transformed. She's bringing together her emotions and her drive, and she's learning to be controlled by nothing, okay? So it's about cleansing and spiritualizing your emotions, so you're no longer owned by your emotional ups and downs anymore. You've got this temperance, you've got this middle ground where you're no longer someone's puppet. You no longer go to extremes when circumstances around you change. So emotionally you're entering March really quite grounded and really quite willing to get your emotions under check. And what I mean by under check is to spiritualize them, which just means you're no longer controlled by them. It's almost that sense of trusting there's higher forces at play, Scorpio, and surrendering your will to the higher will. And interestingly, your outcome's a Strength card, which is different but quite similar. And listen, cards change meaning. It's only the meaning that I'm getting for you, Scorpio, this month of March. There's a real empowerment going on. And the reason this has happened is the Ten of Pentacles. So I'm getting some 2 really strong messages. Some Scorpios have maybe had some financial good news that's helped them to emotionally stabilise themselves. They've built a bit more security. You've got a new job. You've got new housing. Maybe you've managed to create your own path financially a little bit more. Get a bit more financial security. But for others, you've managed to access that inner wealth, okay? The Ten of Pentacles can also, if you look, as a treasure chest. This can also be seen as the heart. So you've managed to access your inner wealth. There's no other way to put it. Your inner strength, your inner capabilities, which are keeping you much more in that central, that middle path, Scorpio. And all you can do in your life, because I know Scorpio energy really well, always work towards that middle path, okay? Try and stay away from extremities of emotions, because it makes you, or it makes us so unwell. It makes us so unhealthy. My feeling is to try and stay with that middle path this month, okay? And with the Temperance and with the Strength card, that's what I'm getting that emotionally you're trying to achieve, okay? So the attitude Oh, this is a very interesting reading. The attitude, the actions you've been asked to take is the Knight of Swords. Now, my first question, is there any communication that you need to do, Scorpio? Is there anyone you need to reach out to? If it is, this stereotypically would be an air sign man, but not necessarily, guys. Because it's air, it's about communicating with someone, okay? So, so there could be someone that you need to make connection with. Is that for anyone out there? You need to be reaching out and making contact with this other person. Excuse me. And because it's a night, you need to do the action, Scorpio. You've been asked to do it, basically. Alternatively, this is about becoming more dispassionate, more the observer, a bit disconnected from your emotional responses, and to be more objective, a bit more, I don't like the word cut off from your heart, but not responding from an emotional way so much, okay? So learning to relate on a very mental level, very, being the observer, basically, just not engaging your emotions so much, allowing this process, allowing this transformation of your emotional depth, Scorpio, because that's exactly who you are, is emotional depth. So again, in your other advice card is the High Priestess, which is a very interesting card to have here. It's almost a bit of your advice here, Scorpio, this month, is there someone that some people might have to reach out to someone and communicate. There's no way around it, okay? But you're sort of being asked to keep quite a lot of your energy to yourself, okay? Not in an old trauma sense of not letting people in, but be the priestess of your own energy, which means be the guardian. Don't let just anyone into your emotional field. Protect it. There's a process happening to you this month, and I like it, okay? And you're sort of being asked to not, I can't get the right word. Keeping yourself to yourself is not what you've been asked to do, not with that night. You've been asked to communicate, but don't spill your energy to anything or anyone, okay? Keep your own wise counsel, be that High Priestess, look after your integrity, look after your emotional world, trust your intuition, almost be that, you know, the stereotypical Scorpio is quite secretive, quite mysterious. It's almost you've been asked to be a bit mysterious this month. To communicate, yes, definitely, but don't give everything away. Keep true to your inner treasure, that 10 of discs, okay? And the Temperance card, allow the process to happen. Your outcome is the 7 of Cups and the Strength card. So 7 of Cups, some Scorpios might have choices to make. Some of these choices are not good, they're the bubbles, illusions, and some of these choices are beautiful, that are going to lead to the rainbow, the bird, the freedom that you're seeking, okay? And it's with the Strength card. Again, a very feminine energy, really emotionally transformative, a real overcoming of being controlled by your emotions, Scorpio, okay? This is about you walking side by side with your emotions and no longer allowing yourself to go to these highs and these lows, but finding the middle path, okay? And she walks side by side. She's got this line, in a change. She now controls her emotions. They no longer control her, because she's learnt to relate more as that Knight of Swords, a bit more logical, less emotional, and she's learnt to keep her, she's learnt to be the High Priestess, to let the right people in, okay, to allow that air of mystery, mystique, because that's who you are, Scorpio. Don't give yourself away too easily, and I know none of yous would anyhow. Well, not the ones that I know that I do the private readings for. Yous wouldn't anyhow. But there could be a choice some Scorpios have to make towards the end of March. This could be between different partners, between different roads. It's a bit of a confusing card. But with that Strength card, I'd absolutely give no worry to it, because you're becoming your own master, Scorpio, which you're here to be your own master. Do not be controlled by anyone outside you. Okay? You're here to be true to your own self and be your own master. You control the line no longer controls you. My gosh, what an intense, beautiful reading, Scorpio, as usual. What else can I say? Love you, Scorpio. Okay, bye.